What's up, guys? I'm back today with another Pocket GM3 video on the channel, and in today's video, I am finally back with episode 4 of my series. Now, I know it has been a long time and a long wait for this episode. I think I last uploaded the series back in May, at the end of May, so it's been quite a while since I last got this series out for you guys. But I'm finally back on here. There's been a lot of updates to the game, and I'm excited to hop in here and check out the game and play the game and hopefully get this team to a Super Bowl. But this is what our draft class did end up looking like last year. I don't exactly remember where I ended up drafting everybody. Obviously, right now, draft classes are much different compared to what they were before, and how the drafting works and other mechanics as well are different from how they were back in episode 3. So things may be different, things may be changing, and we'll see how this series does progress over time. But that's what our draft class does look like. We are fairly okay. I'm hoping we can potentially compete for a playoff spot. We'll have to see what ends up happening. We're 21st ranked at defense and then 11th at offense to bring us to 12th overall. So we'll end up seeing where our team ends up going. We're an 81 overall. I think we might regress. I'm not exactly sure. This is what the team kind of looks like. A lot of room for improvement, obviously, more players to draft and big contracts that we're going to have to give out after this season at some point, and we'll work on that obviously in the offseason. But this is what the squad is going to be looking like heading into season number 4. Last year, 4-13, 9-7-1 the year before, and 7-10 in the first year. So let's hop through here, start off with the division matchup against Houston. I'm going to make a record prediction as we do lose this one 19-13. Not the greatest start, but we do end up taking a loss. My record prediction, I think we're going to go maybe 7-10 or 8-9. I think I'm going to go 8-9. I think we're going to go 8-9. So let's see what ends up happening here. Hopefully we can pick up a couple W's as we start off the season 0-2 with 2 kind of close losses. And it looks like our quarterback not with the greatest start. I don't think he has 1 touchdown pass so far. Boykin probably finally with a good game as we move on to week number 3. As we face Atlanta, they are 2-0, and we still cannot get a W. 2 turnovers for us, and they end up bringing in the backup after an injury. And he comes out with a fairly perfect day, 2 touchdowns. Pretty crazy, 2 interceptions for our quarterback as we start off this season 0-3. Not where we want it to be. So let's see what we can do, see if we can pick this back up. Indy is a tough team, and we start off 0-4. Not exactly how we wanted to start off here, but they do have a huge game, almost 500 yards of offense on us, and we're going to be 0-4 to start out this season. Moving on to KC. And we lose again, 29-7. This team is getting crushed. The quarterback play is not great. I'm trying to think if we need to maybe potentially go and look at picking up another quarterback. But we do need to pick up a middle linebacker really quickly. Just going to probably pick up someone cheap. Not really too worried about who we pick up. We'll grab this guy for a 1-year deal, $4.1 million. And he is going to be kind of just another piece to the team. As we move on here, quarterback play, not great. We'll check out some of his stats really quickly. 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You guys can see some of his stats so far. 31-12 last year, 26-16, and then 33-6 the year before. I think he got an MVP that year, so kind of disappointing to see him absolutely fall off a cliff here. But we do move on, and we will have a bye week this week as we move on, and hopefully, okay. What's it say here? Fight during training camp. Whilst we do look to train with some aggression, Evan Agbule took that too far today, leading to a brawl. Team chemistry isn't what it was, but will hopefully recover in the coming weeks. Interesting. I didn't actually know that was a possibility. I didn't know something like that could happen, but really excited to see those things in the game. Let's see, can we get our first W against Tennessee? We don't. We are 0-6. I didn't even think this was going to happen. My 8-9, 7-10 prediction is not looking great unless we want to absolutely dominate the second half of the year. But we're 0-6 here through 7 weeks. Moving on to Tampa Bay. Can we get our first W? And we finally do, 24-8. Finally on the board with a W. A big day. And we are 1-6 on the year. Can we turn the season around? Can we get some more wins? And it looks like that guy who started a fight actually does end up getting injured, which is not exactly what we wanted to have happen. But this team is really struggling. I'm not sure why this team is not doing great, but quarterback play is not starting out great. But we do pick up a second win on the season, knocking off the Jets. And we can see 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Not too bad for him so far. as we are 2-6, gets us our second W on the year. Moving on to New Orleans, and we do pick up another loss, moving us 2-7, 5 interceptions for Miller. What a terrible season. 11-11 on the year. I guess we're just going to run with it. This quarterback play is not what we needed, and we do need to pick up a quarterback in the draft. Wow, I did not expect us to have this bad of quarterback play, and we do get a nice little upset win over Indy, knocking them down. Only 177 yards of offense for them, and we do pick up the W there. Moving us on to Vegas, as we are going to sim this one, and we do lose another one by 10 points, moving us to 3-8 on the year. I feel like I need to readjust my predictions. We're having a lot of injuries, which is fine. I'm not too worried about some of these injuries. I just don't think this team has a chance to compete for a playoff spot, obviously, as we are 3-8 on the year. Moving on to Carolina, we get obliterated. Wow, just an embarrassing loss there. As we move on to week number 14, playing against Minnesota, they are 3-8-1, and now they are 4-8-1 as we take another loss. We're going to quick sim right out of here. Let's get through Cincy, take another loss, moving us 3-11 on the year. Going on to Houston, as we take another loss, 3-12 on the year. This is not exactly what I was expecting. Denver, are we going to take another loss in Denver? We do, 3-13. I did not expect this team to have this bad of a season, and we sim through, and we finish the year 3-14. What did we go last year? I totally forgot. 4-13. So we worse than last year, which is just terrible. Our quarterback play, 21 touchdowns to 20 interceptions. That's not going to cut it. Boykin with a disappointing year, but we are running. What is our staff looking like? We have an air raid offense, so I feel like probably wasn't suited for him, which is fine. 21-20, running back obviously isn't going to get as much yardage, but a bad year for Boykin as well. But I have a feeling it's probably going to decline after this year. We're probably not going to end up picking him up, especially since he had 2 kind of okay years with us. But moving on to receivers, we do have Murray, White, leading the team with over 600 yards. So not too bad there. And those are going to be some nice pieces at wide receiver, or with 6 sacks. Ford with 9 sacks, not too bad. 7 sacks for Myrick, 9 sacks for Simpson. Not too bad for a 76 overall player. So not too bad. Maybe we can't offer him a contract extension. He just is not interested in coming back. Interceptions wise, only a couple interceptions. 2 is going to lead the team. And checking out Max Bauer with a phenomenal year. 3 forced fumbles and 3 recoveries as well. Kicking game, 7 missed kicks, 2 return touchdowns by White. Did he end up leading the team second in the team in receiving, and gets 2 return touchdowns. And we do end up with a terrible, terrible season. Checking out some of the final stats on the year, it looks like we are going to... How does Dallas get 3 ties? That's absurd. Dallas with 3 ties. That's insane. I gotta look at this. Green Bay, Minnesota, and Washington. Back-to-back ties. Back-to-back weeks with ties would be absurd in the NFL if that ever happened. I don't think it's ever happened. Maybe it hasn't. I'm crazy. But 15-1-1 from Detroit. Absolutely crazy. Overall, we are probably going to get a pretty good draft pick. And 4-13, 3-14. So it looks like I think we should get the number 1 draft pick. If all goes well, we should have the number 1 pick. So let's see who ends up winning it all. I have a feeling maybe Detroit is going to pull this one out at the end here. But we'll sim through here, see who ends up winning it all. And Detroit does end up moving on. Moving on to the conference championship week, and it is Detroit versus Cincinnati. As we sim through here, 7 versus 1 seed, and the 1 seed Detroit wins it all. And Josiah Jack is going to be the MVP. I didn't check out any of the overall stats, but he does end up 30-10. The second place, Nicholas Turner with 32-5. So not too bad. Defensive player of the year is going to this guy with 26 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, and 9 TFLs. Absolutely absurd there. So crazy stats. Let's check out how the safety ended up finishing. 14 interceptions. The interceptions need to go down in this game. It's absolutely absurd sometimes. But we do have a tackle ends up making it to the All-Pro team. Offensive guard ends up making it to the All-Pro team as well. And our middle linebacker ends up making it to the All-Pro team with 92.5. points, not too bad of a season, and that is where things are going to end. 3 All-Pro players, the season is going to end. We do end up with the #1 overall pick, and we have a lot of decisions to make here in the offseason. We need to pick up a quarterback. We definitely need to go look at some quarterbacks in this draft, but it looks like Pat Miller is going to be retiring. Luke Boykin does not want to come back, but he is declining. Had 2 kind of all-right seasons. First season was all right. The second season was kind of lackluster, so probably not too bad to let him go. But a lot of decisions to make here as we head into year number 5. 4 disappointing seasons, or I guess 2 all-right seasons, and 2 pretty disappointing lackluster seasons. I thought we built a pretty good team that would have a chance to compete 7-10, 8-9 kind of area, but it ends up looking like this team really needs a lot of fixes here as we head into the offseason. So I'll be making those off screen and then obviously in the next episode, which will be coming out in less than 2 months, most likely. Then that episode will be out for you guys and we'll see what the new team can do. But without further ado, I'm going to end this one off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys do, please make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel so much. And without further ado, I'm going to end this one off and I will see you guys in the next episode.